Hello and good vibes. This is your Good Morning Minute. Today I'm talking about one of the hardest parts of faith, trusting God without fully understanding what He's doing. Because if we're honest, most of us would rather have certainty than surrender. But faith doesn't always come with full explanation. Proverbs 3:5-6 says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding." That verse sounds beautiful until life becomes uncertain. Because naturally our minds want answers. The nervous system craves certainty. Why? Because certainty feels safe. When people have experienced trauma, unpredictability can create anxiety, hypervigilance, and emotional exhaustion. The brain begins to anticipate every possible outcome as a form of protection. And spiritually, many people struggle because they want God to explain everything before they obey. But throughout Scripture, God often gave direction without full detail. Noah built before rain appeared. Abraham moved before knowing where he was going. Peter stepped before understanding how the water could hold him. Obedience often comes before clarity, and that can feel deeply uncomfortable, especially for people who have spent years trying to stay emotionally safe through control. But here's what's so powerful. Faith is not blind denial. Faith is relational trust. It's saying, God, I don't fully understand this, but I trust your character. And honestly, that's the difference between trusting a plan and trusting a person. Because plans can fail, circumstances can shift, but God's presence remains steady. Isaiah 26:3 says, "You will keep in perfect peace those whose minds are stayed on you." Notice, peace is connected to focus. Not perfect outcomes, not fully understanding. Presence. And sometimes emotional healing requires learning that uncertainty does not automatically mean danger. Sometimes uncertainty is simply where trust grows. Because relationships deepens when control loosens. And God is far more interested in building trust with you than simply giving you all the answers up front. There have been seasons where I desperately wanted clarity from God. I wanted the full roadmap, the timeline, the guarantee that everything would work out exactly how I imagined. But instead, God kept inviting me back to trust. Not trust in outcomes, trust in Him. And honestly, that stretched me because I like to prepare, lead well, think ahead, care for people responsibly. But God showed me something important. Understanding everything is not the same thing as peace. There were moments where I still didn't have all the answers, but I had His presence. And that became enough to keep moving forward. So friends, ask yourself today, where am I demanding certainty before obedience? What would it look like to trust God even without full clarity? Today's reminder, you don't have to understand everything to take the next faithful step. Sometimes trust grows most in the spaces where answers are limited, but God's presence is near. Until next time, friends, I'm Angelina, your life coach, sending you much love, much peace, many blessings.